what effectively occurred, and this was the real problem, this was the big piece on top that made this such a deep problem that occurred, is we stopped packaging. It's almost like the old adage of one bad apple doesn't spoil a whole bunch. Well, we took a lot of AAA debt, and rather than making it pure AAA debt, we started to rate bonds based on the average of the whole portfolio. So we had $1 billion worth of bonds that used to be all AAA debt, which was the good stuff. And it would have some relatively minor foreclosure amount. Then we started to weaken the system, and we started to stack inside there an acceptable amount of BBB or C debt or bad debt overall. So now all of a sudden, our pure data sample, which was 99.9% AAA debt, was being marketed as AAA debt, but now the street was accepting 5, 10, 15%, some increasing number percent of bad debt. Now, if everyone paid their bills and everything was fine and people could afford both the increasing rates and the fact that now there's a general slowdown, there wouldn't be a problem necessarily. It would have been a little bit of a hit, but now all of a sudden these loans start to default. And when the loan defaults and the house is worth less than it was when we first purchased it, the bank's in a real quandary because they have to write down the loan. So now we're in a much deeper problem, because what should have been relatively high investment grade debt has bad debt peppered in it, and if we're unlucky, some of that bad debt is going to be defaulting. So WAMU and many other banks are forced to prognosticate, really guess, whether or not their loans are going to stay in service mode or if they're going to default, stay in pay status. They now need to guess how many of those overextended Americans with 6-month loans that they can no longer flip are going to default and just keep spending more to buy to keep their house.